Prince Philip is being remembered as the longest-serving consort in British history, who sacrificed a naval career to give steadfast support to his wife. Following the Queen's announcement of the death of her 99-year-old husband, Prince Philip, we look back at an incredible life. From growing up in exile in France, England, and Scotland, to renouncing the Greek and Danish thrones, to becoming a naturalized British citizen, and marrying the then Princess Elizabeth. So, who was the man beside the monarch, and how did he come to marry the Queen? Here are 10 facts about the longest-serving royal consort in history. Before we continue, make sure to smash the like button, subscribe to our channel, and click the notification bell for more amazing videos. Number 10. He had a rough childhood. Born on June 10, 1921, to Prince Andrew of Greece and Denmark and Princess Alice of Battenberg, Prince Philip's early life was full of turmoil. Unlike Queen Elizabeth, whose family was very stable and united, Prince Philip was an infant and had to flee Greece with his parents and 4 sisters, says Harris. When Philip was 9 years old, his mother was committed to a mental institution in Switzerland, and his father took off with a mistress. Their only son was sent to boarding school in England and was shuffled from relative to relative during holidays, says Harris. Number 9. Prince Philip's family was forced to flee Greece. Philip was born into the Greek aristocracy, the grandson of the country's king George I, but his childhood was a far cry from the opulence of the usual royal upbringing. The king himself was shot dead in 1913 by a crazed anarchist with a loathing for the establishment. A proper political motive for the killing was ruled out at the time, with the assassin dismissed as just a booze-sodden hobo. Philip's uncle took the crown as Constantine I, but his rule was to prove shockingly turbulent. In 1922, Constantine I was forced from the throne by a military uprising, and the entire royal family came under threat. The clan were forced into exile on a British boat, with the infant Philip transported in a cot fashioned from a fruit box. They went to France, beginning a life of traveling and uncertainty for the boy. Number 8. Queen Elizabeth is his third cousin. The Duke of Edinburgh and the Queen are both great-great-grandchildren of Queen Victoria. The Duke is a direct descendant of Princess Alice, the third child of Queen Victoria. The Queen is a direct descendant of Queen Victoria's eldest son, Prince Albert Edward, later King Edward VII. After his school studies were over, Philip enrolled as a naval cadet at the Royal Naval College at Dartmouth. During a royal visit to Dartmouth in 1939, Queen Elizabeth, the present Queen's mother, the wife of George VI, asked if Philip would chaperone her 2 young daughters, Princess Elizabeth and Margaret, for a duration of the visit. Philip and Elizabeth had first met at a wedding in 1934, but after this, their first official meeting, the pair began exchanging letters and a romance quickly bloomed. Number 7. Prince Philip was one of the youngest lieutenants in the history of the Navy. Shortly after the outbreak of the Second World War, Philip joined the Royal Navy in 1939 and served as a midshipman aboard a super dreadnought battleship, HMS Ramiles. He rose through the ranks during the course of the war to become one of the youngest first lieutenants in the Royal Navy's history at the age of just 21. He eventually attained the rank of Admiral of the Fleet in 1953, and to mark his 90th birthday in 2011, was made Lord High Admiral of the Navy by the Queen, becoming the ceremonial head of the entire British Navy. Number 6. He committed a heroic act while serving in the Navy. Serving in the Royal Navy during World War II, he and his shipmates realized their vessel, the HMS Wallace, was under significant threat of enemy attack. Thinking on his feet in an attempt to divert the bombers, the prince suggested throwing a decoy in the water in the form of a wooden raft, hoping that it would become the target and give them a window to escape. As one veteran later recalled, "The sound of the aircraft grew louder until I thought it was directly overhead. The next thing was the scream of the bombs. But at some distance, the ruse had worked and the aircraft was bombing the raft. Prince Philip saved our lives that night." Number 5. There was a major dispute over his name. When his wife became Queen Elizabeth II, there was a private debacle over the family name. Prince Philip and his uncle, Louis Mountbatten, were in favor of the dynasty becoming the House of Mountbatten. Winston Churchill, who despised Louis Mountbatten for his part in granting India independence from Britain, argued that the family should remain the Windsors. Philip was furious at his own lack of influence, comparing himself to an amoeba, saying, "I am nothing but a bloody amoeba. I am the only man in the country not allowed to give his name to his own children." It's even been suggested by some insiders that Philip bore such a grudge over the whole thing. Number 4. Prince Philip might not have needed to become a British subject. This is a complicated one, but here it goes. When the only surviving child of the future Queen Anne died in 1700, her cousin Sofia, Electress of Hanover, moved up the English line of succession to become Anne's direct heir. That, however, caused a problem. Although she was a granddaughter of James I, Sofia was German by birth, not English. To get around the prospect of a German citizen sitting on the English throne, Parliament hastily passed an act known as Princess Sophia's Naturalization Act in 1705, which to all intents and purposes solely served to make Sofia an English subject. The wording of the act, however, also made an issue of Princess Sophia's body, in other words, any of her direct descendants, an English subject too. In the end, that line proved hugely important. Sofia died before Anne in 1714, so the throne eventually passed to her son, the German-born king George I, who likewise became an English citizen automatically through the Naturalization Act. As another of Sophia's direct descendants, Prince Philip could have possibly assumed his status as a British subject through the act, without the need to renounce his claims to the Danish and Greek thrones. But the Royal Marriages Act in 1772 proclaimed that any descendants of George II, as Elizabeth and Philip both are, needed royal approval before their marriage, except for the children of princesses married into foreign families. It's unclear whether or not all the royals along Philip's line had or needed the proper marriage permissions. To truly determine Philip's place would have required a lot of legal research and wrangling. So, in the end, it was probably wise to take the easy option. The Naturalization Act itself was quietly broken apart and all but repealed in 1948. Number 3. He was involved in one very big scandal. After Princess Diana died in a car crash in August 1997, Egyptian business magnate Mohammed Fayed, whose son Dadi Fayed was involved romantically with Diana and was also killed in the crash, proclaimed that Prince Philip ordered Diana's death. There have been extensive investigations concerning the death of Diana, and all those allegations of foul play have never been substantiated, says Harris. Number 2. His love story with the Queen was real. Although Prince Philip has allegedly strayed from his marriage throughout the years, it seems the rumors are unfounded. The royal duo, who celebrates their 70th anniversary in November, are still believed to take afternoon tea together every day. As Prince Philip said nearly 20 years ago during a toast to his wife at their golden wedding anniversary, "I think the main lesson here we have learned is that tolerance is the one essential ingredient in any happy marriage. You can take it from me, the Queen has the quality of tolerance in abundance." Number 1. Prince Philip founded many prizes, awards, and institutions. As any young Brit will know, the Duke of Edinburgh Award, or DOFE, is a hugely popular training youth scheme founded by Prince Philip in 1956. But that's not the only scheme he's been involved in over the years. The Prince Philip Designer's Prize has been awarded to a British designer whose exemplary work has influenced the perception of design by the public and accordingly elevated the status of designers in society since 1959. In 1962, he instituted the Queen's Gallery at Buckingham Palace, which remains a public exhibition space for art from the royal collection. And along with Crown Prince El Hassan bin Talal of Jordan and Sir Evelyn Rothschild, established an interfaith dialogue movement, promoting collaboration between the Christian, Muslim, and Jewish faiths. In all, more than 75 prizes and schemes now either bear his name or title, or were established by the prince. That's it for today's video. Don't forget to smash that like button, share this video with your friends, and tell us what you want to see next in the comment section below.